that I had told you that when you give the test, you have it divided into three modules. Now I'm telling you particularly about the TOEFL test over here. Okay, that you have the test divided into three modules mainly. Okay, depending on how you perform in the first module, you will get the next few modules. Okay,
Okay.
now of course the format remains the same. When I talk about the format, I'm saying that okay, reading, writing, speaking, and listening, they remain the same. Okay, same way you will have your reading test first, you'll have your listening test first, then you'll have your speaking, and then writing at the end. Okay, but the test has gotten easier or difficult. It depends on how you perceive it. Okay, if you ask me, I would say it has got easier. Why?
Okay.
We'll see that. Okay, but looking at you, you might say some of the question types have gotten harder for you specifically. Because why? Because now in say reading, you have one question type which wherein you have to guess the correct spelling of you have to fill in the correct spellings. Now, if I remember
Mm.
correctly, you struggle with spellings.
Yeah.
Correct? And that was the whole
Mm.
reason you
Grammar and spellings are my
yeah, you
weaknesses.
struggled with a bit of writing part also last time. ठीक है नहीं तो राइटिंग में भी आपका स्कोर लास्ट टाइम अच्छा आ जाता बट स्पेलिंग इज वन थिंग दैट we struggled with, and that is the reason this question type which I will be talking about today might be a bit hard for you. ठीक है,
Mm.
but if I talk about the overall question types, they have gotten easier. ठीक है, why? Because you already might remember that TOEFL test is all about your real life application, right? I hope you remember
Correct.
that. And especially when I talk about real life application, we are talking about real life application in academic, correct? Wherein we
Correct.
need to speak to our professors, we need to speak to our students, we need to put forward our opinions, we have to talk about, we have to read academic text, we have to talk about the academic text, we have to listen to professors, correct? That's how the test is designed, that it talks about mainly academic life and how you perform in that academic structure and what kind of language skills are required in this academic structure, correct? Now the way I told you, the test has become adaptive. Some of the question types they are the same. For example, today we'll be looking at mainly reading. So the reading का जो हमारा reading था वो same है at the end, but the questions have decreased. From 10 we only have 5 questions now for each passage. ठीक है, but the passage numbers have increased and the tasks have increased. Okay, the way
Okay.
I said this, it has become an adaptive test. It is also called a multi-stage test. Multi-stage test मतलब आपको सारे questions एक stage में नहीं पूछे जाएंगे. The way you perform in the starting stage, depending on that you will get the second stage. Okay,
Mm.
now the questions sometimes might be easier, sometimes they might be difficult, but in no way they hamper your scores. Okay,
Okay.
along with that, the number of questions that you get have increased. If you remember, पहले जो हमारे tasks थे वो दो reading passages थे and we had only 20 questions, correct? But
Mm.
as
Mm.
the tasks or the questions have become shorter, the number of questions that you will get have increased, as you can
Okay.
see on the screen. Okay,
So
so
50
basically,
questions.
yeah, 50 questions in reading itself. Okay, so first thing that we start off with is reading, as you know. So first thing we have the complete the words, जहाँ पर मैंने आपको पहला जो question type बताया वो आ जाता है, where you have to read and you have to fill in the missing spellings.
Okay.
Okay, how to do that we are going to look at it, don't get confused as of now. Then reading in daily life, reading in daily life, for example आपको message आता है every day, correct? Your bank is
Mm.
asking you to do something and you read that message and you take that step. Or we get mails on everyday basis which are like I would say promotional emails, correct? We read that email and we try to identify from which or what it is asking us to do. So those kind of tasks will be there. So say blog posts, emails, messages, advertisements, दोज काइंड ऑफ रीडिंग इन डेली लाइफ जो हम करते हैं वैसे टाइप के क्वेश्चन आपको आएंगे. एंड जो लास्ट का क्वेश्चन है that is the same, read in academic passage, read an academic passage the way we did it in the last test. Okay, in
Mm-hmm.
the original test. Now listening, we listen and choose a response. We listen to a conversation, we listen to an announcement, we listen to an academic talk. उसको हम in depth देखेंगे in the next session. Don't get confused as of now. ठीक है. देन आता है हमारा राइटिंग. अगेन राइटिंग यू विल बी गिवन a jumbled sentence. You have to build a sentence from it. You have to write an email and then you have to write for an academic discussion. Academic discussion हमारा था last time पे, if you
Correct.
remember. Correct. Where we, it's like a Reddit post कि आप पढ़ते हो ऊपर क्या लिखा है प्रोफेसर ने पहले. Forum based discussion what we call it. Correct. That
Mm-hmm.
we read the responses given by other students and then we give our response based on that. Correct.
Okay.
And then
So
आता
it,
है.
I remember. Like it will be like from the professor, then a student has
Correct.
replied to it. Then
Correct.
you as a student will also reply to it. Like
Exactly.
maybe वो वाला student is agreeing to a different point, and you will agree to a different point, right? That's
Exactly that question type.
okay.
Okay, it remains the same again. And then we have speaking. Speaking has totally changed. Speaking में we will listen and repeat. कैसे करना है? I'm there to help. Don't worry. Or we will take an or नहीं, and along with that we'll take an interview. Okay. So that's how the test is as of now. As I said, the format remains the same. ठीक है. That is reading, then listening, and then writing and speaking. Only reading and listening have your multi-stage, that is your adaptive part, which I told. Based on how you perform in the first few questions, you will get the next few questions. Okay.
Okay.
The timing overall, it goes to 2 hours, the same way it was before. Okay, you have 30
2
minutes,
hours or 130 hours? Like 1.3 hours, 1.5 hour.
1.5 hour. Hardly, yeah. 2 hours ही पकड़ के चलो, because क्या होता है यहाँ पर, you get the time for the questions, if you remember the way it was last time. But the
Mm-hmm.
directions and all के जो आपके time रहते हैं वो count नहीं होता है. राइट.
Okay.
जहाँ पर आपके
Mm-hmm.
डायरेक्शंस आते हैं स्क्रीन पे, व्हाट टू डू, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, व्हाट स्टेज यू आर गोइंग टू. तो उस वजह से 2 hours पकड़ के चलो, द वे इट वाज बिफोर.
Okay.
ओके, क्लियर विद
Mm-hmm.
दिस पार्ट.
Yeah.
Now first over here, see, this is the first question type that we have, that is the complete the words question type. But before this I wanted you to do one task. Okay, just give me 1 second. Yeah, I want you to, I'm going to change the tab. Yeah, I want you to read this passage, which is given a short passage, and I want you to put the words into the correct categories. Now, I know you might not remember the grammatical terms over here.
Yeah.
I'm there to help, but first, I want you to try. Okay? Try it first, see how much you can do it on your own. Of course, I'm going to define these terms for you, but before that, I want you to try.
Okay.
Okay?
Nouns, adjectives, verbs. I'm
So you
sorry,
have to
I
look
told
at the
you, but
words. It's fine.
yeah.
Try. Try. I know you might not remember, but just try. Just look at the words over here. I'll just try to zoom in a bit more. Look at the words over here and just try to identify in which category it will go. Nouns, adjectives, verbs, or adverbs. Okay? Try. Write it down in your notebook. Why we are doing this? Once you have done this, once you have understood the function of that word, it will be easier for you to spell it out.
Correct.
Okay? Because you might know that one word, as it changes into noun or adjectives or verbs or adverbs, one word can have different forms, right? For example,
Hmm.
easy, easily, right?
Yeah.
उस वजह से I'm asking you to do this. So you need to understand whether the word will be, if EA is given and उसके आगे दो blanks दिए हुए हैं, तो you have to identify easy fit होगा कि easily fit होगा. So you have to understand what word or what function that word first has, and accordingly you can fill in the spellings. In long term, you don't need to remember the grammatical forms as such, I would say, but it is just to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to ask you whether it's a noun or a verb. Okay, that's what I'm trying. Tell me once you're done.
I have completed with nouns. Now moving to the
Okay,
adjectives.
try to fill in as much as possible. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
to define them simply, nouns are the words which are used to talk about, or we can simply say nouns are the words which are names of people, places, things, ideas. Correct? For example, now if I say a student, it's a noun.
Mm.
Okay? As well as if I use the word go with, it's a noun again. At the same time, if I say class, it's a noun. At the same time, if I say a city, it's a noun again. Okay? Now, when I say
City name can be noun or city word is only
both,
noun.
both, defining
Okay.
that again. If I say the word city, even that's a noun. But even if I say Pune, again it's a noun. Only difference is word city is a common noun and the word Pune is a proper noun because it's a particular city that I'm talking about. Same way when I said Govind, it's a particular student that I'm talking about. Correct? So it's a proper noun. The only difference or only thing that you need to remember which needs to be highlighted over here is that अगर हम प्रॉपर नाउन्स यूज कर रहे हैं तो उसका फर्स्ट लेटर जो है वो हमारा कैपिटल रहता है ठीक है
Mm.
and along with that we don't use articles with them oh and hum use nahi karte hain with our proper nouns. That's these are the two things that you need to remember. Usually you will not get these kind of words, the words will be simple but still by chance agar ek आध word aa jata hai to you should remember proper noun hamesha capital letter se start hota hai theek hai
So the proper noun will always start with a capital letter.
always the capital letter जैसे कि पुणे capital P, Govind capital G. Okay, Susmita capital S. ठीक है. If I'm talking about any brand, ठीक है, then again it will be capital letter. For example, if you are talking about Samsung, पहला letter capital रहेगा because it's a brand that we are talking about. Only exceptions will be when brands themselves don't have that format. For example, iPhone. iPhone का I small आता है, whereas P capital आता है. तो उनका branding वैसे है उस वजह से.
Mm.
ठीक है. But otherwise when we talk about normal brands like say Nestle, Bisleri, capital letter से start होगा. ठीक है. प्रॉपर नाउन की
Okay.
कैटेगरी में क्या क्या आता है, जैसे मैंने बोला ब्रांड नेम्स आ जाते हैं, कंपनीज के नाम्स आ जाते हैं, नेम्स आ जाते हैं, और सिटीज के नेम्स आते हैं, पीपल के नेम्स आते हैं. ठीक है. ऑफ कोर्स
Mm.
कॉलेजेस आर इंक्लूडेड, यूनिवर्सिटी नेम्स आर इंक्लूडेड इन द सेम कैटेगरी. ठीक है. ऑलवेज स्टार्ट विद द कैपिटल लेटर. क्लियर. देन
Yeah.
आता है कॉमन नाउन्स. कॉमन नाउन्स आर जनरल द वर्ड्स लाइक सिटी, food, all these words become are common nouns. Okay. Then we have pronouns. Pronouns are the words which we use to replace nouns. So I can say Govind is meeting me at 6. At the same time I can say he is meeting me at 6. So the word he becomes the pronoun. Okay. If I know the
Mm.
noun I can use the pronoun over here. Okay. Now adjectives
Mm.
are the words which give us more information about nouns and pronouns. Okay. For example, I can say Govind is a boy, but I can
Mm.
use an adjective and say Govind is an intelligent boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Okay.
word intelligent over here gives me more information about what kind of a boy Govind is. Correct? So it's giving me more information about the noun. Okay, over here.
Yeah.
Now, verbs are the main part of the sentence as we know. They tell us about the action that's happening in the sentence. Okay, without a verb we cannot frame a sentence. We always need a verb to frame a sentence. Okay. Now of course if you might remember we have the three forms of verb, then we have subject verb agreement. वो भी थोड़ा सा हम देखेंगे because grammar here has become a bit important in reading and other parts as well. Okay, but as I said verbs they tell us the action. ठीक है. So the word changed will be a verb over here. Agriculture changed human history. ठीक है.
Mm.
Then adverbs they give us more information about adjectives, verbs or other adverbs. ठीक है. Example, I can say I wrote all the answers. I wrote all the answers correctly. I wrote all the answers quickly. So the words correctly, quickly over here become adverbs. Clear?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now most of the times the adverbs they end with ly. As I said,
Mhm.
most of the times, not all the time. ठीक है. Now if you remember, last time जो हमने टेस्ट दिया था, हमने क्वेश्चन, सॉरी, वोकैबुलरी जो थे एग्जॉस्टिवली देखे थे. Correct? And when I
Mhm.
shared that vocabulary sheet with you, in that we had one word which was divided or changed to different forms. Correct? For example,
Mhm.
if we look at the word population, the other word for it could also be populate. Correct?
Correct.
uh, Another example that I can give you is fast, fastly. Correct, correct, correctly, correction.
Mhm.
Right? So these are different forms of one word that can be used. As I say forms, जैसे मैंने बोला, नाउन, एडजेक्टिव, एडवर्ब्स चेंज हो सकते हैं. उनका फंक्शन जैसे चेंज होता है, उनका फॉर्म चेंज होता है. ठीक है.
Okay.
So that's the main thing that we need to understand. Now, why we are highlighting this part, as I told you, as the function of the words change, their spellings will change. So I don't
Mhm.
want you to get confused with the function. Okay? For that, you will need to understand the sentence first. Now, usually, when you're doing this question type, your first sentence will be given fully. Okay? Which question type are we talking about?
This one,
This one.
the fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blank. Okay. Fill
Yeah.
in the blanks question type, which is also
The
called
part one is
complete
also
the
a
word.
question. Yeah. The part one is also a question that is going to come.
This one, which we did right now, no. We just
Oh,
did
okay.
this to understand how to
Mhm.
identify the correct spellings in a better way.
Okay. Okay.
ठीक है. As I said, अगर आपको function पता है, if you know the function of the word, you will be able
Mhm.
to write the correct spelling without any difficulty.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. If you don't know the function, you will just get confused.
Mhm.
ठीक है,
Mhm.
कि fast लिखना है कि fastly लिखना है. Okay.
Right.
uh
Right.
See, take this as, we used to if you remember, we used to solve crosswords,
Mhm.
right? When we were younger, when we were in school, we had crosswords, or we had puzzles many times. Correct? We had find the words. Correct?
Mhm.
uh Crosswords would be a better way to look at this. Okay, crossword दिया है आपको, उस word का दूसरा word दिया हुआ है, and you have then say 5 blanks with you. Correct?
Correct.
Where you can just write a word which has 5 letters or 6 letters. उससे ज्यादा आप यूज नहीं कर सकते हो.
Mhm.
Remember? Like that's how
Mhm.
our crosswords are. So same way, you have your complete the word. This task type is called complete the word task type. Okay. Now complete the word में, again you will be given a word with some of the starting letters, and you have limited number of blanks which you can fill in. Okay. So when I say limited number of blanks, I am highlighting that you can only fit in these many letters over here.
Okay.
ओके. सो यहाँ पर आपका रिलेशन नहीं आएगा,
Relationship.
रिलेशनशिप आएगा. वेरी गुड.
Right.
सो दैट इज द रीजन वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द फंक्शन ऑफ द वर्ड.
Mhm.
ठीक है. Now the way I was highlighting, first thing that you will have is your first full sentence. So it tells you, if you remember, हमने जब पहले writing भी देखा था, reading भी देखा था, we know that the first sentence always tells us what the passage or paragraph over here is about.
Correct.
Right? So as you have this first sentence over here, we know that what this paragraph is going to talk about. Okay. Mainly,
Mhm.
we can see that relationships with animals come in many different forms. That means we know that we are going to talk about different types of relationships that
Mhm.
animals have. Correct? So it helps us to identify कि okay, कौन से words आ सकते हैं. Again, when we look at these topics, we need to understand कि कौन सी vocabulary हमें पता है, कौन सी vocabulary हमें पता नहीं है. ठीक है. Now over here, again, two words will be there, and then you have one blank. Two words, one blank, sometimes more, but mostly two words रहेंगे, उसके बाद में again a blank रहेगा. So you know कि what kind of a word will be there. Now try it out. I'm there to help you out, but try it first.
Okay.
फर्स्ट वाला तो आपने बता दिया, रिलेशनशिप.
उसके ऊपर भी है.
हाँ, बट along with that, remember we also have to remember the subject verb agreement. Remember what is subject verb agreement? हमने देखा था last time briefly.
Hmm.
याद है कि नहीं याद है
Uh,
subject verb agreement?
can you see that again?
Do you remember subject verb agreement क्या होता है?
I
If
don't actually.
the word is singular, then your verb will be singular. If your noun or subject basically is plural, then your verb again will be plural. For example, I will say, uh, I eat an apple every day. You eat an apple every day. He eats an apple every day. करेक्ट. सो दिस
Okay.
इज योर
Hmm.
बेसिक सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट कि अगर ही मैंने यूज किया तो ईट के साथ में एस आ जाएगा, वेर एज ऑल अदर सब्जेक्ट्स दे विल जस्ट टेक वर्ब इन एज इट इज फॉर्म.
Okay.
ओके. सो वी हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट पार्ट ऑल्सो कि सिंगुलर है हमारा सब्जेक्ट या फिर प्लूरल है, तो हमारा जो वर्ब अगर कोई आ रहा है तो वर्ब के साथ में एस आएगा या फिर नहीं आएगा.
Hmm.
That is again a little bit trickier part. Along with that, if you have some nouns, again, they are singular or plural. That's what you need to understand.
Okay.
ठीक है.
What we call this thing that you told me?
Subject verb agreement.
So, ठीक है. वो-
हमने ये लास्ट टाइम कवर किया था. आई शेयर द पीडीएफ विथ यू अगेन, जस्ट गो थ्रू इट वंस. आई कवर इट नेक्स्ट वीक अगेन फॉर यू, डोंट वरी,
Hmm.
बिकॉज यू नीड इट फॉर राइटिंग ऑल्सो. बट स्टिल मैंने ब्रीफली आपको बता दिया अभी.
Okay.
तो जैसे मैंने बोला ना, रीडिंग में थोड़ा सा ग्रामर पे फोकस हमारा ज़्यादा हो गया है, जहाँ पर पहले
Hmm.
हमारा ग्रामर पे फोकस नहीं था. वी जस्ट नीडेड टू अंडरस्टैंड द टेक्स्ट करेक्ट एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चंस बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कॉन्टेक्स्ट और द मीनिंग्स बिहाइंड इट. बट नाउ थोड़े से ग्रामेटिकल फंक्शंस जो हमारे हैं उस पर वी हैव टू पे अटेंशन.
Okay.
ओके, ट्राई इट आउट.
Team developing language interactions. Yes, I have completed.
ओके, टेल मी द आंसर्स.
First one is EXACTLY, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is relationships,
Okay.
RELATIONSHIPS, ships.
Mm-hmm.
Third one is found, FOUND.
Okay.
Fourth one is appeared, APPEARED.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth one is humans, HUMANS.
Very good.
Right. Then we have lives, LIVES.
Hmm.
Then we have developed, DEVELOPED. LOPED.
Very good.
Then we have international.
इंटरनेशनल वर्ड्स कहाँ से आया, इंटरनेशनल वर्ड
ये
कहाँ से आ गया?
ये नहीं, ये मेरे को नहीं आ रहा था एक्चुअली, में नहीं आ रहा था ये, तो मैंने बस फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में लिख दिया क्या है का इंटर।
इंटरेस्टिंग वेज, इंटरेस्टिंग
अरे
वेज, इंटरेस्टिंग वेज। इंटरनेशनल वर्ड फिट ही नहीं होगा ना।
हाँ, नहीं फिट हो रहा था वो, जस्ट मैंने सीक ऑफ
सो
इट पे
दैट्स
लिख
व्हाई आई
दिया
सेड ना,
ओ।
फर्स्ट सेंटेंस हमें बताता है कि ओके क्या क्या वर्ड्स आएंगे। सो इंटरेस्टिंग वेज, डिफरेंट वेज, इंटरेस्टिंग वेज। करेक्ट। So that's how
हाँ,
it fits in.
इट्स सो कॉमन शिट।
Yeah.
इंटरेस्टिंग।
Okay.
या
Now the tip over here would be, if you get stuck anywhere, usually at the start, don't just keep waiting on that one particular word. As I said, you have many questions now. पहले जैसे हमारे क्वेश्चंस कम नहीं है, क्वेश्चंस अभी ज़्यादा हो गए, बढ़ गए हैं, राइट? सो जैसे अभी इंटरेस्टिंग है तो इंटरेस्टिंग पे डोंट गेट स्टक ओवर देयर। अभी क्या होता है ना, ये एंड में था, सो यू जस्ट फिल्ड इन समथिंग, दैट्स फाइन। बट स्टार्ट में होता है ना, तो हम अटक के बैठ जाते हैं वहीं पर कि अरे क्या होगा, क्या होगा, इंटरनेशनल नहीं आएगा, ये हमें पता है, करेक्ट? सो क्या होगा? सो डोंट गेट स्टक ओवर देयर, गो डू द नेक्स्ट वन एंड कम बैक। Okay, next fill in the blank karo and then come back. Now over here, as you're giving one module, you can do back and forth. Okay, but as soon as you go to the second module, you can't come back. ठीक है? क्योंकि वो सबमिट हो जाता है ना, उसके बेसिस पे आपको सेकंड मॉड्यूल आएगा ना, उस वजह से। ठीक है?
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
सो यू कैन डू बैक एंड फोर्थ। तो ऐसे लगता है कि ओके इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं है, दिमाग में आ रहा है इंटरनेशनल आया है, बट एट द बैक ऑफ आवर माइंड वी नो कि हमने वो करेक्ट नहीं किया है। फिनिश ऑल द
या
क्वेश्चंस एंड देन कम बैक। ओके, ऑफ कोर्स यू विल बी एबल टू सी द टाइमर ऑन द स्क्रीन। मॉड्यूल के लिए कितना टाइम बचा है वो दिखेगा आपको। ठीक है?
हाउ मच टाइम आई विल आई गेट फॉर दिस पार्ट?
बेसिकली द एग्जैक्ट टाइमिंग्स वी डोंट हैव। जैसे पहले था ना कि एक क्वेश्चन के लिए ऐसा पर्टिकुलर टाइम नहीं है, आप कैसा आपका टाइम स्पेंड करते हो वो आप पे है, राइट? रिमेंबर
Also,
पहले भी वैसा
does
था।
this count as a for one question और इसमें जैसे 1 2 3 4 5
दिस विल
6
बी
7 8?
काउंटेड एज काइंड ऑफ वन क्वेश्चन ओवर हियर, दिस।
And how many
ओके,
question like we have going to have?
या कमिंग टू दैट पार्ट, एज आई सेड
Mm-hmm.
ओवर हियर, one second now, I'm just going to give you the exact number. Yeah, for complete the word task you will have to complete 10 words in one short paragraph. So over here in this one particular paragraph you will have 10 words given.
Okay, okay.
ठीक है?
ठीक है.
And when we talk about the second task, that is read in daily life passages that you will get, okay, you will have to answer up to 3 questions, which will be 15 to 150 word text. ठीक है? It will be mostly non-linear text such as a sign, a social media post, an advertisement, or a
Mm-hmm.
type of text that you would encounter in daily life. जैसे मैंने बोला messages आते हैं, mails आते हैं, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of text that we read in everyday life. ठीक है? But it will be a very short passage or short reading text, we could say. And as I said, you have to answer 3 questions. ठीक है? एंड फिर आता है हमारा लास्ट वाला जो कि हमारा सेम है, रीडिंग पैसेज, रीडिंग एन एकेडमिक पैसेज टास्क विच वी हैड बिफोर। ओनली थिंग इज यहाँ पर पैसेज जो हमारा 700 वर्ड्स लॉन्ग हुआ करता था ना, वो
Mm-hmm.
200 वर्ड्स लॉन्ग है
Oh, great. 200 points.
अभी। या, एंड यू हैव ओनली 5 क्वेश्चंस।
Mm.
क्वेश्चन
But I
वाइज
think
रिमेन द
the
सेम।
question का hardness, the difficulty level, they have increased, right?
आई वुडंट से इंक्रीज, इट्स द सेम द वे वी हैड इट लास्ट
Okay,
टाइम।
okay.
ठीक है? जैसे लास्ट टाइम था वैसे ही है, वो टास्क वैसे ही है, सिर्फ क्वेश्चन नंबर्स कम हो गए हैं हमारे। ठीक है? क्लियर? सो
ठीक
इफ
है.
यू आर एबल टू
Yeah.
डू दिस कंफर्टेबली, you can easily score a good score. ठीक है?
Mm-hmm.
I am only worried about this task for you because of the
Okay.
spellings. Yeah?
Yeah.
Otherwise the reading has got easier, I feel. Okay, let's try one more.
So इसमें drawings is written, right? So that subject verb agreement, right?
Correct.
So it's now like not singular anymore, right?
Exactly.
Plural.
We know
And
from drawings.
then it is in case we are from dances. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, tell me the answers.
So we first one is might, MIGHT.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Uh,
am I audible?
yes, you are audible.
Huh, please continue.
First one is might, MIGHT.
Mm-hmm.
That, THAT.
Okay.
Prehistoric people, POPLE. Right. Only, BASIS basis. Much, MUCH, much. It is clear from FROM. Record. Dancing, DANCING.
Okay. Might, then,
Hmm.
that,
That
people,
people only
only, basic,
basis.
basic, basic.
Oh, this. No. How much it is
Basic
clear from
survival. Concentrated on only basic survival कैसे आएगा ना? Try to read
on the
that.
base. Why I thought like on the basis of मैंने
Hmm.
गलत पढ़ लिया.
Off नहीं
ठीक
है
है
ना बीच में
base.
उसकी वजह से. Basic
हाँ तो
survival.
गलत हो गया मेरा.
Hmm.
Much.
हाँ. However.
हाँ. Oh.
Hmm.
However है वो, मैंने
Yes.
much लिख दिया.
नहीं. How much नहीं
It
आएगा
is.
क्योंकि कॉमा है
It
ना
is.
बीच में.
Hmm.
However, we had looked at this word. Remember when we did writing.
Yeah.
However.
However it is. Hmm.
Okay. It
Yeah.
is clear from
From
the
record
record the dancing was
dancing.
performed. Yep, very good. ठीक है वो एक गलत हो गया था और how much
नहीं.
however
टू. दो गलत हो
two
गए.
गलत हो गए
बेसिस भी हो गया. आई
एग्जैक्टली
थिंक कॉन्फिडेंट हो गया मैं. मैंने वो फर्स्ट टू मैंने कहा इसलिए. तो हाउ मच इट इज क्लियर फ्रॉम द रिकॉर्ड्स दैट आर.
थोड़ा सा ना क्विकली रीरीड भी कर लोगे व्हेन यू आर like at least reread the sentence I would say. See, most of it is given in one sentence. ठीक है, so just reread it in one sentence and make sure that it makes sense to you. If it
करेक्ट.
makes sense then it's correct, if it doesn't make sense then somewhere we are going wrong. ठीक है, हाउ मच इट इज क्लियर फ्रॉम द रिकॉर्ड तो वो गलत हो जाएगा ना, वहीं पे आपको समझ में आ जाता है. करेक्ट, ऑन बेसिस ऑफ सर्वाइवल, ऑफ नहीं है तो बेसिक सर्वाइवल. ठीक है, so that's how you identify. Clear with this?
यस.
Moving to the next question type that we have, as I said, these this question will be a short non-academic text that you will have, which is commonly encountered in our daily life. It could be a poster, a sign, a notice, a menu, a social media post, a schedule, an email, correct, a news article, or just text message that we get on everyday basis, correct. Then it could be an invoice or it could be also a receipt. Sometimes you can also get a form. Okay, so you just have to read it and answer few questions based on it. Okay,
ओके.
you might get 2 3 multiple choice questions depending on the length of the text that you have. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन टाइप्स हमारे सेम है, जैसे मैंने बोला लास्ट टाइम इफ यू रिमेंबर, अंडरस्टैंडिंग द टेक्स्ट, अंडरस्टैंडिंग द मेन पर्पस ऑफ द टेक्स्ट, अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इनफॉर्मल लैंग्वेज, देन आर इडियोमेटिक एक्सप्रेशंस, मतलब इडियम जो हमारे मेनली यूज होते हैं, इन्फ्रेंसेस करने हैं कि समझना है, जो डायरेक्टली नहीं दिया है इनडायरेक्टली कुछ मेंशन किया है तो वो समझना है हमें. एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी नीड टू स्किम एंड स्कैन फॉर आर information that we are looking for. ठीक है, so you have the
करेक्ट.
first question over here. Try to do it, just give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Try to do this question. You done?
Hello.
One second. Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yes, I only saw the first
Yeah, I
question.
only displayed the first one. Yeah. ठीक है. Were you done with that?
Yeah, it's the a bank.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
It's correct. Very good. Okay. That's how you will get the question for this. Sometimes you
only
might
one
get
question or like two to three
sometimes
questions.
you might get two three questions, sometimes one. Depends कौन सा type of text है. ठीक
Okay.
है. This is a little trickier one, I would say. Hmm? But it's an easy one again. Usually if you read it
Hmm.
carefully, you will get an idea what it is talking about. ठीक है.
Yeah.
Hmm. Then next we have our reading for academic purpose, basically academic passage that we usually have. You will have your short reading passage and you'll have to answer few questions based on that. Okay?
Hmm.
If you remember this, we did this already in the first test.
Yeah.
Right? So just try doing it quickly. Here you will get five questions as I told you. Okay?
I actually have done this in yesterday from the chat GPT. So if you have a different one, so
No, actually, right now I
ये
only
मैंने कर लिया chat GPT से.
right now I only have one question.
No
ठीक है, but
worries.
you have done this, right?
Right. I
You
got
understood.
one question wrong. Right. Yeah.
Where did you do it from, bud?
So मैंने क्या किया ना, like from past 3 days I have like this new app, AI tool notebook LLM. So वहाँ पे you can feed all the PDF and the things, and वहाँ पे like I asked to give me a passage and things. So वहाँ पे it has given me this
Okay,
passage.
it gave you the same passage, I guess.
Yeah. Even the last question was also same a bank.
Okay, ठीक है फिर. Okay, no worries. So you have understood the question types, right? For
Yeah.
reading, at least as of now. Uh, See, the test has become easier. Now, why I would call it easier? Because you have already given the test once.
Mm.
Okay? And your language skills are good. That's the main thing. If your language skills wouldn't have been good, then of course, any test, the way I said before, any test that you give, it's hard. But if your language skills are good, then your TOEFL test or IELTS test becomes easier. Clear? Now these are how the questions will be. Now you tell me if you have any questions as of now in reading. Writing has also become easier, so don't worry as of now, I would say. But as I said, I will share some task types with you which you can do over the weekend so that we know that you are at a good level because we need a good score in writing.
Correct. So the only question I will be solving these three questions, right? And I will
Yeah,
be getting 23 marks. Sorry, 23 minutes for doing so.
30 minutes for this, na?
Oh, 30 total minutes to do
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. Okay, but
Hmm.
questions will be more. जैसे अभी हमने एक ही रीडिंग फॉर डेली लाइफ किया, राइट? इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट
Hmm.
यू विल गेट मोर क्वेश्चंस. Like reading for daily life might be 5 6, correct? Whereas your fill in the blanks will be more.
अच्छा.
Paragraphs
So
will be more.
okay, so I will जैसे मैंने अभी एक सॉल्व किया, right?
हाँ.
And I gave like 10 questions to it, 10 answers to it.
Exactly.
तो
Exactly.
वैसे ही वहाँ पे it might happen that I have to give two passages and 20 answers.
Exactly.
Okay, and poster reading or the like daily reading can also be two questions. That I'm
Exactly. Three questions. Yeah,
oh
two questions, three questions. एंड
No, so three passage and three questions or one passage and three questions?
डिपेंड करेगा, डिपेंड करेगा।
Hmm.
हम्म।
और अगर मैंने रीडिंग में बहुत अच्छा अच्छा परफॉर्म कर दिया, लाइक
हम्म।
30 में से मैंने 28 आंसर्स कर दिए,
हम्म।
तो मेरा नेक्स्ट सेक्शन विल बी रियली हार्ड.
काइंड ऑफ।
सो
यस, काइंड ऑफ।
एंड नेक्स्ट तो आई थिंक कौन सा रहेगा, राइटिंग रहेगा इसके बाद.
इसके बाद में आपका लिसनिंग रहेगा ना, वैसे ही रीडिंग, लिसनिंग, स्पीकिंग एंड देन राइटिंग, वो फॉर्मेट सेम है हमारा।
वो तो मैंने अगर तीनों में अच्छा परफॉर्म किया जो मैं कर सकता हूँ, क्योंकि तीनों मेरे को आता है करना, देन द
एग्जैक्टली।
लास्ट वन विल बी रियली हार्डर.
नहीं नहीं, आपका राइटिंग हार्ड नहीं होगा। उस रीडिंग आपने दिया, फर्स्ट रीडिंग में तो आपने एक नंबर ले लेना, 15 क्वेश्चंस आए आपको, 15 क्वेश्चंस सब मिलाकर, अलग अलग क्वेश्चन टाइप्स मिलाकर 15 क्वेश्चंस आए, 15 क्वेश्चंस
हम्म.
अपने राइटली आंसर कर दिए। तो सेकंड मॉड्यूल
हम्म.
जो आपको आएगा वो रीडिंग का ही, ओके, सेकंड मॉड्यूल जो आपको आएगा वो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट और हायर लेवल, डिफिकल्ट नहीं बोल सकते हम, हायर लेवल आएगा। अभी समझो, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट सैम्पल, as I was telling you, CEFL level, correct? CEFL level,
हम्म.
it's a common European framework of reference for languages. Okay, any European language that you look at, for example, French, Spanish, German, English, it has 6 levels basically. Okay, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. Okay, A1
हम्म.
very basic, जो हमारे दादी आजी गांव में अगर किसी से के बात भी करोगे तो उनको सिंपल वर्ड्स आते हैं, सिंपल सेंटेंसेस आते हैं, राइट? आई एम सुस्मिता, टेबल, चेयर, पैंट्स, ये
हम्म.
सारे वर्ड्स ये A1 लेवल में हमारे आ जाते हैं। फिर A2 लेवल आता है, A2 लेवल में बेसिक बेसिक हम सेंटेंस बनाते हैं जो हम फर्स्ट सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ते हैं यूजुअली। ओके, फिर आता है B1 B2 लेवल विच इज इंटरमीडिएट लेवल। ठीक
ओके.
है, दैट्स अ गुड लेवल ऑफ लैंग्वेज। फिर आता है C1 C2 लेवल विच इज हायर लेवल। ओके, C2 लेवल आई वुड से सिंपली टू पुट इट bluntly with you, शशि थरूर लेवल।
ओह.
ठीक है, दैट इज योर C2 लेवल। अभी
हम्म.
कॉमनली C1 C2 लेवल नॉर्मल पीपल यूज नहीं करते हैं। C1 C2 लेवल कौन यूज करता है? टीचर्स, लैंग्वेज एक्सपर्ट्स एंड पीपल लाइक शशि थरूर अगेन, करेक्ट?
हम्म.
कॉमन
या.
पीपल लाइक यू और others I would say, we use B1 B2 level। ठीक है,
हम्म.
तो जो आपने स्कोर किया है लास्ट टाइम उसके हिसाब से आप B1 B2 C1 लेवल तक आप जाते हो। ठीक है, नाउ as I said, if you have performed good in the first module and you have scored good in the first module, you might get B1 B2 level of text in the second part।
हम्म.
ठीक है, जो वर्ड्स आएंगे वो थोड़े से न्यू आएंगे, थोड़े से अनकॉमन आएंगे। ठीक है, बट अगर आप कम स्कोर करते हो तो कॉमन कॉमन वर्ड्स आएंगे। अंडरस्टूड?
ओके.
तो थोड़ा
हम्म.
सा वैसे है, बट स्कोरिंग, दे आर सेइंग इट डजंट मैटर मच। ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच मॉड्यूल यू गेट, डिफिकल्ट और इजियर वाला, तो
हाँ.
उसके हिसाब से
हाँ.
उनका स्कोर इतना वेरी नहीं करता है। दैट्स व्हाट वी नो एज ऑफ नाउ।
How you define a module, like जो filling the blanks है, that's one module, right?
नहीं
Then
नहीं नहीं, वो
daily
सारे
reading.
क्वेश्चंस आएंगे फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल में, और फिर सेकंड मॉड्यूल में अगेन सारे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे आपको, सारे क्वेश्चन टाइप्स।
अच्छा.
हाँ।
Oh. अच्छा, मतलब 23 minutes है, then if I divide it by the 7 minutes each, right? 30 minutes है, 10 minutes each. Then in 10
काइंड
minutes,
ऑफ,
in that
काइंड ऑफ,
10 minutes,
काइंड ऑफ, हाँ,
I have to
काइंड ऑफ,
answer one filling the blanks,
यस।
second daily reading, and third a passage in 10 minutes. Then again one
एग्जैक्टली,
more, then again one
एग्जैक्टली,
more.
एग्जैक्टली, या नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड, अंडरस्टूड।
Oh. And in writing, same three modules.
राइटिंग मल्टी स्टेज नहीं है, राइटिंग सेम है, आप एक ही बार में करोगे, सिर्फ
And
हमारा
speaking,
रीडिंग एंड लिसनिंग मल्टी स्टेज है। तो बेस्ड ऑन
and
हाउ यू
speaking.
परफॉर्म,
Hmm.
स्पीकिंग भी अपना जैसे पहले था वैसे ही एक ही बार में आप कंप्लीट करोगे, वो
And
मल्टी स्टेज
speaking
नहीं है।
थोड़ा सा hard हुआ है, easy हुआ है इस बार?
As I said, it depends on how you look at it. I would say it has become easier. Like
अच्छा.
listen and repeat, वो तो हमारे easy है, वो PTE में भी
Hmm.
क्वेश्चन टाइप है हमारा listen and repeat, but yeah, your attention needs to be really good for that। ठीक
Yes.
है, it depends on how you look at it again, but of course there are ways to work around it, so don't worry, I'll help you out with that। ठीक है,
Okay.
कल हम मोस्टली ट्राई करेंगे राइटिंग ही गो थ्रू करने का,
Mm-hmm.
so that we are better prepared for that. As actually you told me, I know, but I was in my own stuff, so मैंने रीडिंग का प्रिपेयर कर लिया था आपके लिए दिमाग में. But tomorrow we'll go through writing then.
ठीक है.
ठीक है.
Okay. Uh,
Okay, I'm going to share this PDF with you. I'm sure that you might have some resources already with you, but I'll still share the PDF with you, and make sure you go through it, try to understand it a bit on your own also. Clear?
ठीक है. Yes. Please share the writing one also. So मैंने प्रिपरेशन करा है. I have written some mails. और उसमें मेरे को ना जीपीटी ने गलतियां बताई. So I've again worked
Share it
alongly.
with me also. Share it with me
हाँ.
also. Let me
Okay.
also look at it from trainer's
Also,
perspective.
if you have few more minutes, can you help me book the test because I need to book it now.
Mm,
Oh shit, 14th March गया.
really? अरे